With the chances of the federal rate cut slimming each and every day, a lot of people are starting to wonder, when will we have an altcoin season and when will we have the parabolic stage in the altcoin season? It's your boy Crypto Millie. In today's video, I'm going to be looking at a few charts that can give us an idea of when that altcoin season will start. If you like these type of videos, make sure that you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and keep your favorite crypto and door-to-door entrepreneur inside the algorithms. Guys, remember, this is not financial advice, and please practice risk management, right? Never invest what you're afraid to lose. All right, so let's get into this altcoin troubles, guys. Consider the Discord. You can see here, Bitcoin is holding 60K from a skin of his, skinny skins. And we are seeing a correction in the market, throughout the day, right? Every time we get a little bullish momentum, maybe on an hour, the next hour, we see the same type of bearish momentum. So a lot of people are starting to wonder, like, Millie, we seen BTC hit 73K before the halving cycle. Usually, when we gonna get that altcoin season. So let's talk about what I'm actually seeing. The first thing I like to check is the altcoin season index, guys. So I told you, man, anytime that you bought altcoins, right, when we retested the support here, was always a great time to load up on your altcoins as we were bullish, right? Of course, the best time to load up on your altcoins was when we were in peak Bitcoin season. So you always want to do the inverted of what you see. It's kind of like when they say, when everybody's bullish, be bearish. When everybody's bearish, be bullish. When everybody's fearful, be greedy. When everybody's greedy, be fearful. And for a while now, we have been in extreme greed. So if you were thinking about maybe taking a little bit off the table or whatever, you may have bought in peak bear market June 2022, and maybe right there in November, December 2022, this, around these last few months might have been the best time to start to de-risk, as a lot of the projects were in the overbought sector on the weekly. And you can see for the last month or so, we've been in extreme greed, but that's starting to tick down, right? And you never want to be the person that sells the bottoms. You only want to sell the tops, right? Especially if you're kind of like trading about a month, depending on your strategy and how you look at things. Another good website, I like to use, it's actually the same altcoin website, is to actually check the sentiment, right? Retail sentiment seems to still be a bit bullish, right? But you can see that sentiment kind of like it's falling off the table, right? Everybody was all comfortable, right? And this is what crypto does. It gets you, it kind of like it lulls you to sleep, right? You get comfortable. You feel like, hey, I can hold this micro cap. And let me know in the comments if you ever had that confidence when you're holding a micro cap, and everything for like months, it just seems like it's either just good or it's going up, but you really don't notice those losses. Then out of nowhere, right, we get maybe some bearish news, right? Maybe the Fed comes out and says, hey, no rate cuts, or continue to pause. Then you start to see the sentiment change. And when the sentiment changes in crypto, it changes quick, right? One week you could be all for meme coins, the next week, everybody's kind of like toxic and at each other's head. So again, like what I'm seeing from an opportunity aspect, but also understanding there is a reason to be cautious in the market when you look across the market, and how most indicators are telling us that we have lost momentum. But I also want to focus on this chart, right? So I was a chart that I was looking at, which is the others chart, right? The others chart. This is like the true altcoin chart right here, right? This lets you know exactly like each halving cycle. And these are altcoins excluding like the top 10 altcoins and things of that sort. So this is like the true altcoin map. It's called the chart, should I say. It's called the others chart here. All right. So you can see the first, this is the second halving, because of course the first halving wasn't recorded, but then we'll go and check a chart that actually has the first halving on it, just to give you an idea of what I'm thinking of when this altcoin season will start. So you can see here, this was the first halving, or should I say the second halving, right? 2016, but the first altcoin halving, right? The altcoin season during the halving. And technically, it took about 224 days after the halving, right, for us really to start going up and head into that parabolic stage of the altcoin season, right? Then we had the last bull cycle, which took roughly about 238 days until we seen the parabolic stage of the altcoin season, right? The parabolic stage, right? So even when the halving cycle comes, this is important for anybody out there, especially if you're new in crypto. Technically, it doesn't mean we just go straight up after the halving cycle or a day after. Like I hear some crazy things in crypto, right? It takes time, right? This market is designed to play with your emotions, to shake you out of the market, especially bull runs, because everybody is not designed, right? Not designed to become a crypto millionaire. It doesn't just work like that. Everybody's just, they're not set up like that emotionally, right? People can love to see their portfolio in money and things like that rising and increasing, but hate to see it decreasing, right? But only the true diamond hands one people, and of course, experienced traders, of course, are the ones that normally see the best of the bull runs, right? Because and that's why it's kind of like good, and I want to say this for anybody that's still working, a regular job or doing things in their regular life. That's actually a good thing, right? Because when you're not embedded into Web3, right? Fully full time Web3 like myself, then you can step away from the charts. You got things that take you away from the charts, but also the most important thing of a bull cycle, if anybody is looking to make the most of their gains in the bull cycle, is to have consistent liquidity coming in. So have an income, right? Um, you don't want to get so wrapped up into crypto that you forget that you need to have an income coming in, because then when the market starts to correct, or maybe you see some type of consolidation to the downside, that really scares you. That really scares you, right? Because you don't want to lose that money. You want to be making money, and I get it, especially if you don't have a consistent income coming in. So the most important thing I think in any cycle is to always have a consistent income, right? If you have a consistent income, then you're not falling for that selling pressure, right? You're not putting yourself in a position to be emotionally tied to your portfolio like someone who doesn't have a consistent income, and they're putting their last, or they're pulling all the liquidity they have into the market. So it's very, very important to understand risk management. But back to the chart, back to the others chart. If we just simply add, right, the second bull run, right, 224 days, 238, and divide it by 2, right, that gives us around 231 days. So technically, if we just go off the cycle, altcoin season could start somewhere between November, December, headed into 2025, right? So it does coincide with election season, and many people think during election season you might see some type of quantitative easing from the Fed, as the voting process. Everybody is looking to be that guy, right? To sway you to vote, right? And let me know in the comments who you are voting for. But again, this is interesting, right? So if you prepare yourself for 200 days, even if it doesn't take 200 days, at least you're mentally ready for consolidation, for sideways, potentially for downside, right? Opposed to be, to really, really put yourself in a position to be stressed out because you're looking for an altcoin season. You can't wait for an altcoin season. You're constantly thinking when altcoin season, when altcoin season. So this kind of like is a chart that I use to keep me humble and grounded, and to really, really help my patience, right? Because everybody can use patience in crypto. You're going to need patience in crypto. And you can see the circle here represents every time we hit a halving cycle. And you can see every time we had a halving cycle, the move was parabolic. Maybe about 200 days after the halving cycle, we really see that parabolic move. The thing is, we just don't know how high this move will be this cycle, because we got a few things in our favor now. We got more retail. We got the casino aspect, right, where people are using meme coins as an opportunity to gamble. You got the suit and ties coming in crypto from an institutional standpoint. BlackRock now openly in crypto, right, and going on press runs, providing wisdom on tokenizing, tokenizing assets as the future. So we don't know how high, right, this will go, right? But we do know, based on history, every time we are at that point of the halving cycle, it takes about 200 days until we actually see that parabolic stage. So let me know in the comments if you think that this will happen. Another chart that I was looking at was the DXY. Now this is an interesting chart, and I want you guys to focus with me, right? Because this has every halving cycle, including the first one, right? So what I did was I noticed that 2 out of 3 of the halving cycles that we've had, every time we had a halving cycle, the DXY pushed to the upside for about 200 days. So this coincides, right, with the information we just got from the total market, because normally after the halving cycle, crypto doesn't really perform that well until 200 days after the halving cycle. Literally, the DXY after the first halving cycle went up 200 days and then it capitulated. The second halving cycle, it went up 154 days. The second halving cycle, the DXY rose, went on an uptrend for 154 days, and then it capitulated, and we seen in the altcoin season, right? The bull run. The only outlier of this to this information was the year that we had C19, and we call it the relief program year, and the DXY capitulated, but so did risk on assets. So the stock market capitulated, crypto capitulated. So we can basically say this doesn't happen all the time, right? But we got information here from the first 2 halving cycles, right? First halving cycle, November 28th, 2012. This is the DXY, right? This is the strength of the dollar. The strength of the dollar rose for approximately 203 days after the halving cycle, right? What did we say on the total market, right? It normally trades sideways or consolidation for 200 days. The second halving cycle, the US dollar, right, went raging for 154 days before it capitulated and went to the downside, right? So if we do that same math, right, we add up 154 and we add up 203 here because we don't have any more information on the halving cycle, so you just want to add that up. First halving, 203 days of just, pain, right? DXY rising. Usually that's inverted to crypto. Second halving, 154 days of pain before we had the altcoin season. Now this is pain before we had the altcoin season, because after that it capitulated. After that it capitulated. Well, if we do that math, right, 203 plus 154, you get approximately 182 days, right? So technically you can already start to see here, guys, that the DXY is already starting the uptrend. So this reminds me of the 2012 halving cycle and also the 2016 halving cycle. In both cases, the DXY rose for the first 200 days, 150 to 200 days after the halving cycle. So if we're getting the same action here, based off history, you can see that this thing could possibly, we could possibly get maybe 150 to 180 days of pain, right? Not bad pain, but just accumulation, bull market accumulation, before we see the raging altcoin season, which would put us somewhere around October, November, December. So guys, I mean, all of the charts tell me that that altcoin season that everybody wants to happen. Again, this is just based off the charts, right? I don't want to say it's a prediction, but I'm preparing now for this altcoin season to be massive around October, November, December, sometime in Q4 2024. But wait, I got another chart from you, right? From my boy Mustache. You can see here that each cycle we came back and retested what they would call the A wave. And after we retested the A wave, you can see we had a massive move to the upside. Looks like we're putting in that same retest of the A wave, and we could get all of this right here, right? Another massive move to the upside. So despite all of the bear hopium, there are many charts up here that tell us that we're still on route to have a raging altcoin season and a raging bull run, right? You can kind of see the same setup happening right before the halving cycle, right? So I'm thinking that if we can hold this structure between 62 and 60K, this could be the structure you want to see it hold, right? If we break this itty bitty little structure that we have here, if we break this, then it's like, okay, I might have to start, deciding, is the market over, right? But we're still in this structure here. We're still in this structure pattern, and we can easily bounce off that pattern to the upside. Okay, now it doesn't mean this is going to happen, but it's a possibility because technically this is a double bottom and a very bullish chart here. So with that being said, based off the charts in the history, altcoin season could start somewhere around October, basically Q4 2024, Q4 this year, right? Q4 this year, we could possibly be around the time where we start to see the altcoin season happen. Guys, let me know when you think the altcoin season will happen, and let me like and subscribe if you like these charts where we talk about history, right? Where we're looking at the history of the crypto market, whether it be altcoins, Bitcoin, DXY. Just trying to soak up the information. Again, I am not an expert. I am on a journey with you guys, and feel free to give your opinion in the comments. It's your boy Crypto Millie. I'll see you in the next one.